using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter, though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But like his core personality and his.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great.
Floyd, yeah, because
Terence Crawford has finally responded to Floyd Mayweather's challenge for a 2026 fight, and his answer was positive, saying he's ready to end the debate about who truly stands above whom. Mayweather may be more than a decade older, but he was the one who pushed for the fight after becoming annoyed with the constant comparisons fans keep making between him and Crawford.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
In an interview after his win, Crawford was asked about fans wanting him to face Floyd, especially now that Floyd himself is calling for the fight. If Floyd wants to fight me, it's big money and a huge opportunity against one of the greats, Crawford said. So yeah, I'm in.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't going.
Mayweather felt pushed to call out Crawford not only because fans demanded it, but because two of his former opponents recently suggested Crawford might be better than him, a comment that feels like a major insult to the legacy of the boxing icon. Alongside Canelo, Shane Mosley, who lost to Floyd by decision 15 years ago, repeated the same opinion.
When I looked at it, he came out in the southpaw stance and he took Canelo's jab away from him. As you know, if you take a fighter's jab away from them, then it's hard for them to really land. You force them to use one shot, and he forced them to use his backhand, his rear hand. Crawford was ready for the loop in the right hands.
Speaking with Fight Hub TV, Mosley boldly claimed he believes Bud Crawford is actually better than Mayweather, though he still praised his former rival's skill. I think Crawford is better, bigger, moving up in weight and everything, and I'd say Crawford's the more complete fighter. Mayweather's really good too, you can't knock him. He's extremely talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge because of his reach and because he's naturally bigger, Mosley said.
Who think's better out of those two? Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fight.
Fans and analysts worldwide have already begun debating whether Bud should now be considered the greatest fighter ever after beating Canelo, a historic win that pushed the 37-year-old back to the top of the pound-for-pound rankings. Canelo had mentioned his opinion earlier, but after losing, he repeated it more strongly, claiming Crawford was the superior fighter. In his post-fight conference, Canelo Alvarez said, "I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather."
Can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can?
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
This statement carries extra weight because it came from someone who has faced both Crawford and Mayweather. Canelo's willingness to say something so bold right after losing shows either honesty or real belief in Crawford's superiority. His comments immediately shook the boxing world. Some fans pointed to Crawford's rise through multiple weight divisions, while others defended Mayweather's perfect record and legendary resume. Crawford later said on the Ariel Helwani show, "Canelo has been in the ring with both of us. People can say anything, but he's actually felt both."
How did that feel to hear that from someone like him?
I just was like, well, you know, it's his personal opinion. He was in the ring with both of us, so a lot of people, you know, they can say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us. You know, one where he felt like he was
ready for the body shots. You know, occasionally the straight right hand to the body would land for Canelo, but, you know, sooner or later, Crawford started getting out of the way of that as well by just pivoting, you know, on an angle and, you know, making Canelo reach. There were spots inside the ring that I saw Crawford, you know, try.
In the end, this debate will continue because it's based on opinion. What is factual is that both fighters remain undefeated, at least for now in Crawford's case, were multi-division champions and will be remembered as two of America's greatest boxers. However, there's an interesting discussion about how the two built their undefeated records, and this argument was brought up by active boxer Ryan Garcia during a September 10th segment on Ring Magazine's Inside the Ring.
you know, and another where he felt like he was at a disadvantage when he had a rehydration clause and he was younger. So, you know, I don't know, you know, I don't go off of that. You know, Floyd is the best fighter, you know, in his era. And
This followed a discussion on why Max Kellerman believes Manny Pacquiao should rank above Mayweather on a pound-for-pound list, despite ESPN placing Floyd at number 1. Earlier this month, former NFL player LaShawn McCoy said nobody changed the game like Floyd Mayweather. Ryan Garcia jumped in a bad way. He added, Mayweather mastered knowing when to fight someone and when not to. He was the best at making money and picking the perfect timing for big fights. He never fought guys in their prime after junior lightweight. He changed the game in the worst way. Now everyone protects their zero.
The game like Floyd Mayweather.
He mastered the art of knowing when to fight somebody and when not to fight somebody. I mean, he's the best in that game. He's the best in, you know, making money and making all the, you know, the huge fights happen. But why? Because he was timing every single one of them. He never fought nobody really in their prime. He always
after junior lightweight. Junior lightweight.
He changed the game in the worst way possible. You're right. Everybody's trying to protect their own.
A lot of the stuff that Canelo was doing, and you know, that I would say this, that work from Boots helped in that aspect because Canelo was reacting to a lot of the counters that Crawford was throwing. Usually in the past, you know, Canelo would stand right there. He would lunge and he would stay in place, keep his feet in place. However,
Crawford's recent achievements have people questioning long-standing rankings, and the timing is perfect as he reaches the peak of his career while still fighting at an elite level. Max Kellerman brought his years of insight to the conversation when analyzing Mayweather versus Crawford on Inside the Ring. He noted that Mayweather holds certain advantages, like a deeper resume, elite defensive skills, and top-tier hand speed, major strengths that shaped his dominant career.
Because, like, if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he...
However, Kellerman highlighted that after leaving lightweight, Mayweather became more selective with his opponents, choosing strategic timing against dangerous fighters. This helped preserve his undefeated record, but raised questions about whether he fought everyone at the right moment. He contrasted this with Crawford, who's always seemed willing to face...
I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with...
Kellerman added, if you look at Floyd's resume, it's deeper than Crawford's. Floyd was faster with better defense. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought certain guys. Crawford, we all saw, even with a thinner resume, wanted every challenge the whole way through. And that matters to people. He compared Crawford to legends like Sugar Ray Robinson and Roy Jones Jr., suggesting but has reached a level of respect that goes beyond numbers and belts.
A lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in a fight between Terence and Floyd, and I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who would win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd would win that
yes,
fight.
Sir. I love you, Terrence.
Always figures it out.
Despite the constant comparisons fans make between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence Crawford, but refuses to take any credit away from the 50-0 champion. Terence Crawford respects Mayweather's legacy, and when asked about their similarities, he responded with nothing but praise. He's the king, Crawford said, acknowledging Floyd's greatness. He continued, we have a lot in common in some ways, but we're a little different because I take more chances. Earlier in his career, he also took a lot of chances. It just depends on which Floyd Mayweather you're talking about. Are you talking about Money or Pretty Boy? Pretty Boy was the seek and destroy fighter. Then he started having hand injuries, so he couldn't keep the same power, and he was moving up and fighting bigger guys.
Excuse me, Crawford.
You know, right now, but earlier in his career, he was taking a lot of chances as well. So, you know, it just depends on which Floyd Mayweather you talk about. You talk about money, or do you talk about Pretty Boy? Because Pretty Boy was the seek and destroy.
As Crawford mentioned, they share many similarities. However, fans and supporters have compared both fighters to figure out the better man. And when they did, a news source picked Crawford as the likely winner if they ever fought. When it comes to pure boxing talent, it's hard to find anyone who produced more sweet science performances than Floyd Mayweather Jr. The crisp jab, precision, timing, and counterpunching ability allowed Mayweather to break down his long list of opponents. And he did it over 2 versions of himself.
He's going to reach from the left hooks again. And the lightning hand speed extraordinary. Left hook drops him. And then he hit his head off the Gomez here at the engine.
Just as Crawford said, Pretty Boy Floyd was the aggressor, bringing the fight to opponents, while Money Mayweather later used intelligence and technique to edge fighters with brilliant boxing. Whichever style you prefer, both eras help create the legend of Floyd Mayweather Jr. Comparatively, fans are still amazed at what Crawford did to Spence in their last fight.
He drops him again. That's a hard knockdown that time with the left hook. How about that? Keeps battling, falling forward. Uppercut. Terence Crawford has stopped.
Whether it was the power jab he repeatedly snapped through Spence's guard, punching in exchanges, or the timing of his counters, Bud displayed supreme boxing ability. And it wasn't the first time, but we've never seen it against an opponent of Spence's caliber. When talking pure skill, arguably nobody should surpass Mayweather. But Crawford's style is different yet effective, even explosive in its own way. So how would their skills match if Crawford fought Mayweather in his prime and used his laser-sharp shots against Floyd's disciplined sweet science? Who would establish the jab first? Who would be the sharper counterpuncher? With so many possibilities, this category might best be called a draw. How many times have we watched Mayweather lull and eventually lure his opponents into the center of the ring, where he analyzed their moves, gathered information, and downloaded a blueprint to take them apart? Mayweather used his ring IQ and motto of hit and not get hit to ride it into the Hall of Fame as an undefeated 5-division world champion. Crawford, in becoming undisputed at junior welterweight and now welterweight, has shown high ring IQ as well throughout his career.
A lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in the fight between Terence and Floyd, and I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
yes,
fight.
Yes, sir. I love you, Terence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah.
Mayweather displayed hand speed, especially in his counters. But Crawford's slicing angles and whiplash delivery give Bud the edge in speed. Of Mayweather's 50 wins, 27 came by knockout. In comparison, Crawford has 40 wins with 31 knockouts, and he's still active. Now consider Crawford's brilliance over Spence, dropping him 3 times on the way to a dominant 9th round TKO.
You want to hook from the hips. So when you hook, boom. This toe gonna go up, and this one gonna go down. So you here, and it's gonna go boom. So you can do a 45, or you can do straight. Come straight from the shoulders, boom. Open it up a little bit, bam. But get that, there you go. So, yeah, so you want to come, everything you do, you want to come from the shoulders, boom. Just turn it. When you coming in there, you hear, boom. And that's where that torque gonna come from. The hips, your legs, all the way up in there.
Destroying a powerful body-punching fighter like Spence, who broke down Kell Brook, Sean Porter, and Eudenis Ugas to unify the welterweight division, was anything but easy. Yet Crawford made it look simple, and his power was a major factor. Mayweather often backed into the corner, turning his shoulder into the Philly shell and absorbing shots with his arm while using his free hand to counter. Defensive boxing turned into counterpunching at its finest.
The fighter, and that challenge for him
pushed him even harder to train harder and to be better. That challenge, went up against Canelo, moving up 2 divisions, hearing that people are saying, oh, he didn't look too good against Madrimov, so how could he look good at 68? Well, that motivated more, man. He trained hard. He
all imagined. How would Crawford versus a prime Mayweather actually play out? And who would win? After a tense first round where each man studies the other, we would see Crawford being the busier fighter early, launching shots even if many are absorbed by Mayweather's shoulder and elbow.
Unbelievable. Young boxing fans that are watching Floyd Mayweather, you're seeing one of the greatest defensive fighter of all time. I mean, that's how strong. You're where and then he's nowhere. You think you can. And again, it's not just hand quickness, it's the movement of the head, the way he rolls with punches. Look at the way he makes them miss. I mean, here we go. Through a series of punches and nothing really landed. Terrific fighter for Mayweather. All right.
Yet with steady pressure, Crawford's firepower could reach Mayweather, even hurting the legend at moments. As close as this fight appears, Crawford's fighting ability and those whipping punches might be enough for judges to reward his pressure and volume, giving him a points win over Mayweather's style. As humble as Terence Crawford was after his career-defining victory.
Canelo go from here, Henry.
He needs to rematch. If I'm Canelo, I want to rematch Terence Crawford. He got schooled, bro. He got outboxed dude by Terence Crawford. And I know that he's itching to get that one back. The first time he fought Triple G, and he came back the second time, and he legit beat Triple G.
Once in a lifetime fight. It doesn't need to be a rematch. I think Bud would do worse the next fight.
In a fight some believed would decide the best boxer of the post-Mayweather and Pacquiao era, Crawford seemed to achieve exactly that, with apologies to Alexander Usyk and Naoya Inoue, by becoming just the 6th male boxer to win titles in 5 divisions, and the first in the 4-belt era to become undisputed in 3 of them. This weekend's win over Alvarez, boxing's biggest star of the last decade, and its pound-for-pound king, as recently as 2022.
Work on what you need to work on, put your head down and grind, you get results like this.
I noticed that when I was watching the fight that Terence Crawford specifically, whichever side that Canelo threw at him, Terence would respond with a shot from that side as well. Did you see that in the tape that you watched of Canelo as a weakness, where he was vulnerable to shots at the same side that he threw?
Well, if you go back and look at the fight, you can hear us in the corner saying, when he goes.
But when asked whether he had surpassed Mayweather's accomplishments, Crawford wanted no part of the comparison. Listen, Floyd was the greatest of his era, and I'm the greatest of mine, Crawford said at the post-fight press conference. There's no need to compare. However, the debate heated up 15 minutes later when Alvarez, respectful even in defeat, was asked which fighter was better. Considering Alvarez, then 23.
Canelo a little worse than that, because that style of fight, I don't think he beats someone like Terence Crawford. But if I'm Terence Crawford, of course I'll fight him again. But this time, I'm the A side. I think Terence Crawford is going to be more confident next time, knowing that I can punch with this guy. I can take his shot. I'm faster.
He fought Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
He didn't do what the last two did, just run.
He said Crawford deserves full credit. I tried my best tonight and just couldn't figure out the style. He had everything. Alvarez added, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. Until the real fight happens, this debate continues. And that's all for now. For the best updates on news, moments, events, and action in the boxing world, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our quality content.